Hello everybody and welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler and this is probably the only time you're ever going to catch me playing Tron, but we're doing it. This deck did well in the last Modern Challenges, put up a few 5-0s in competitive leagues even. It is Mono Blue Tron. Now, trust me, I feel dirty inside for doing this. I hate Tron just as much as the next person, or possibly quite a bit more. But you know what? This does look like quite a bit of fun. So, we do have our 12 Tron lands, and this is after all what the deck does. We're a Tron deck. We have the expedition maps to go find them. We want to make Tron. But the way we do that, and the way we go about having fun with Tron in this deck is far different than what you're used to seeing from Tron decks, right? So, rather than have the red and the green or the black or the whatever, right, where you just make Tron and you have all this stupid stuff and a bunch of exit cycle and your entire deck is nothing but cycling and ways to find Tron. This deck is not that. It's kind of a mix between a control deck and a ramp deck, etc., right? So we have the Tron lands. We have a couple Talismans of Dominance, which give you mana. Heck, we even have a Solemn Simulacrum in here to ramp us up to mana. Okay, sure. But you know what? We also have all these blue cards on top of that. Look, we have Condescend, great counterspell here. Counter target spell unless its controller pays X, and you scry 2. Now, that'll find you some Tron lands. Pretty good on turn 2, and pretty good later in the game once you have Tron online as well. We have Repeal, another card that scales very well when you have a bunch of mana to throw at something. You can bounce basically anything, and it cycles, okay? We have... on the bottom end, so we have the Remands over here. We have Snapcaster Mages for this. We even have a Supreme Will, which can both impulse, so look at the top 4 and get any card you want, or be another counterspell in the deck. We have Thirst for Knowledge to draw. We have Treasure Mage to search out big stuff. So you can kind of see how the deck's coming together, right? We're planning on assembling Tron, but not turbo. It's sort of, it comes natural as we play this counterspell removal ramp game sort of early, you know? And working great with that is Karn, the Scion of Urza, making another appearance this week. The card's very, very good. Very expensive, I know, but it will be coming down in the future, and at least this deck only plays one of them, right? This card's so good in Standard and possibly Modern, possibly Legacy. Karn's great. At the top end, though, this is basically what drew me to this deck. We get to play Mindslaver. Few things are less fun in Magic than being Mindslavered, but all that fun has to go somewhere. It's the law of conservation of fun in Magic, and if our opponent's having no fun because they're getting Mindslavered, it means we're having all of the fun with Mindslaver. That's what we can do with this deck. And when you have enough mana, you can even loop it. So you can take someone's turn with Mindslaver. It costs 10 mana. Okay, fair enough. That's a lot. But hey, we're playing Tron. Then if you have 3 more, so 13 total, you can loop it by putting the Mindslaver back on top of your deck with Academy Ruins and taking their next turn. And then you get all their turns. You get all the turns in the game. You can't lose. It's pretty good. Also, so at the top end, we have the Ugin, we have the Wormcoil, just big, bomby threats that just win the game a lot of times when they're played. And Sundering Titan. When here's a battlefield or leaves, choose a land of each type and destroy them all. Now, we only have islands, so it's almost guaranteed to hurt our opponents more than us. You can destroy a mana base with a Sundering Titan here. So that's basically the deck. We're going to play Tron, but you know what? We're going to have fun playing Tron. We have Chalice of the Void and Walking Blitz in the main deck here as well, because those are just good cards. Onto the sideboard. Nothing too crazy. Some Dismembers for removal, some Chalice of the Voids for the one when you put it on 1 against a bunch of decks. EE for more removal. Spatial Contortion, again, we just need to kill creatures, same with the Dismembers. Surgical Extraction for the graveyard deck. Spell Pierce just to catch all here. Crucible Worlds, a replay lands from your graveyard. It's very good against decks that want to kill you, like, you know, Ponza or whatever, want to blow up all your lands. And Spreading Seas for the Mirror. So one of the things I actually saw in the sideboards of some of these decks, I actually saw some Damping Sphere in the sideboards, and you know what? I love Damping Spheres. Like I said, possibly it's probably my second favorite card at Dominaria. Merfolk Trickster obviously has to be my first favorite, but Damping Sphere exists to shut down Tron, and yet the beautiful thing about this Tron deck is that it is fine just playing 1 land a turn, getting 1 mana a turn, if it's playing a control game, and completely shuts off your opponent's decks, whether that be Storm or Tron. And you know what? We're going to have some fun. Why not? All right, everyone. Here we go on to the games. Mono Blue Tron. I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mining Modern. Thank you for watching. Let's have some fun with a lot of mana now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Mono Blue Tron. I'm not happy about playing Tron, that's for sure, but you know what? Some decks are worth it, and this deck is pretty sweet. We do a lot of fun things with our Tron mana. I mean, heck, we're playing Treasure Mage. You got to enjoy that one, even if you hate Tron, and trust me, I hate Tron. But let's see what we can do here. Not sure what our opponent's up to, but I like having Remand here. Curve that into Treasure Mage and or Thirst for Knowledge, or Oblivion Stone, whichever one we think is best. Our opponent's on blue-black, huh? Okay. Alright, there's a payoff. Sundering Titan. Pretty good one. Just have to find something to point it at. Fortunately, we have to get to 8 mana. I'll figure that out later, though. I suppose... So, I could, in response to my opponent opting Thirst for Knowledge here, which is tempting. But I think I'd rather pass the turn back. And just fire it off on their end step. That way we can resolve Oblivion Stone or whatever on our turn if they do counter it. Inquisition, huh? Well, that'll prompt me to at least try it. Alright, look at that. I'd like to discard an artifact card. I'd like that artifact card to be the Sundering Titan, I believe. Our opponent only has one land we can target right now anyways. Alright, so they have options. I don't know what they want to do here. Doesn't look super straightforward for them. Depends which of these cards they think they're going to care about, but it also means that they can't really do anything else this turn, or we just slam Karn. Karn's pretty good. Dominarius made quite the impact on Magic, and Karn's a big part of it. It's crazy to me the set's sold out. Distributors are sold out. We can't even get any more product in my LGS right now. The last time I remember that happening, maybe Zendikar, but before that it would have been like Magic 2010 when I first started playing. They took the map, huh? Yeah, I'm content to just pass back. We have Remand up, we have Thirst for Knowledge, we hit our land drop, so we can go for another end of turn search if we want, or Thirst rather, and then, or we can Remand if they try to cast something. Ah, Field of Ruin's pretty good against us. All right, so this is going to resolve, or they're going to give us a possible opportunity to resolve Karn here. All right. I think I'm going to discard the Platinum Angel. Doesn't seem super relevant. There's a Worm Coil. Alright, so I think I'm going to go for the Treasure Mage here. It puts a threat into play, which may be worth a little more than it looks right now. Just to attack for 2 every turn. At least put some form of pressure. Or they ignore it. Or rather, they waste mana on it. We have Remand up for whatever they want to do. So we'll see. We have the Worm Cooler in our hand. And play the role of the aggressor here. They want to Field of Ruin us, huh? Fine with me. I'll take a land into play untapped on my first main phase, sure. And it's going to resolve, huh? Alright, interesting. Oh, Mindslaver or Mindslaver, huh? Mindslaver seems good. Could go for the O-Stone here. Why not? It is mana efficient for them if they're able to counter it, but whatever. We got to get the counters out of their hand. O-Stone against a control deck or whatever seems not incredibly relevant. We're nowhere near Tron, so it's not like we're going to be able to get around Mana Leak anytime too soon. All I'm trying to do here is set up a world where we resolve Karn. And that just means throwing the O-Stone away to get a card out of their hand. Because now we get to come back to our turn. We get to try Karn with Remand up. And like I said, the Treasure Mage does a little more work than it looks like. I could also scare them by going for this Expedition map. Again, I just don't see a reason to be aggressive here. What I'm actually going to do, I think, is Expedition map for Academy Ruins. Yeah, and then we just start playing threats that we can Academy Ruins back and save Karn to hopefully be the last one. We'll see. There's actually a lot of different ways I can play this. Honestly, now that he drew Supreme Will, that actually changes what I'm going to do. I'm just going to ship the turn back. Because at this point, again, our opponent's just happy doing nothing here, and they could Field of Ruin or Academy Ruins if they want. It looks like that's what they're going to do. So we have to decide if we want to get back the O-Stone or the Expedition map or anything here, or if we just want to use this mana to fire off Supreme Will. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think we have one basic left. Two basics. Okay, good. They want to Fatal Push our Treasure Mage, huh? What if I remanded that? Nah. Works for me. Alright, let's go ahead and Supreme Will here. I think I want the Thirst for Knowledge. So yeah, our opponent, like you said, that forced them to do stuff on their turn, right? It was a successful Treasure Mage for sure. Now we fire off Thirst for Knowledge, which works. I'll discard an artifact. Kind of like getting the Solemn, but then just casting it for the same reasons we cast the Treasure Mage. That would mean discarding 2 cards. I don't really want to do that. So, Solemn, you got to go. All right, so this might be our opportunity. I'm just going to Tech Edge down the Watery Grave here. And see what happens here. All right, our opponent adds mana, sure. We move to second main phase. This might work. All right, here's what all of that was to do. We play Karn with Remand up, and they only have 3 mana. That's what we've been navigating this entire game to, and now we find out if it works or if they have answers to it that we can't stop. Yep, and they're going to mana leak it, and I'm going to remand the mana leak, and now they need negate. Or rather, dispel. Or they did not. All right, we did it. Whew, Cyclonic Rift, not bad either. All right, we did it. We played this entire game thus far to resolve Karn. We resolved Karn. Now what do I do with Karn? Go for the card advantage? We have plenty of cards. I'm going to make a threat they have to deal with. Yes, I'm aware I said a threat and I played a 1/1, but it is something. It's also a blocker. It just messes things up for them. I'd rather plus Karn when we could actually use the... and they could just play Hero's Downfall or whatever on it. Nope. Guess they're not. Alright, there's a tower for us. Let's just go ahead and plus Karn this time. I guess. Or I can just stay minus... If our opponent can't answer it... Nah, we'll go ahead and plus it. They have their mana available to them now. They could do things like Cryptic Command it. I think it was these two, Power Plant and the Repeal. Yep. So we've got a Repeal up there. I guess we attack. We have Cyclonic Rift if things go bad. Our opponent has like Cryptic Command and stuff to possibly deal with it, but man, or they just have nothing to deal with it, as you can see there. Another Field of Ruin, huh? Now, this is why our deck is better in a lot of ways than sort of the other Tron decks that just can't handle getting Field of Ruined over and over, but not so bad for us. We actually have Tron lands in hand. Alright, so that's an interesting one. I think I'm going to start by firing it off, too. It means Expedition Map's a draw we can't do anything with, but it makes our construct bigger for this combat step. Also, I assume that this is annoying for our opponent. Yeah, there you go. They're going to Fatal Push our construct. Which tells me it's probably going to resolve after that. It did. Alright, so let's go ahead and make another construct. This one's a 2/2. Alright, I have 7 mana. That's enough mana Cyclonic Rift. No reason to do anything past a turn. Now, it's definitely, you can say I play too slowly against control decks. It is, you know, I will admit that is something that maybe I do. Is I like to play too conservatively. But You know what? It's a reasonable line to take sometimes. All right, we failed to find a land, unfortunately. Engineered explosives on 0 to kill our construct. Yeah, you've got it, man. Wow, they're just gonna... All right, so there goes our construct and our Chalice of the Void, huh? I suppose that's fine. Still have Karn. Plus... Oh, they're gonna Thoughtseize us, huh? Okay. I don't know what you take if you're them. What I do know is that they're down to 2 cards in hand, and it's time for us to just start slamming threats. They take the Mindslaver as expected. I say that Mindslaver is not even necessarily that good here. Oh, looks like we're going to get another Tron land here. Not the one we want, of course. Our opponent guessed right last turn, but whatever. Okay, so there's that. I believe I already played land. Yes, I did. Okay, so let's just go ahead and run out the Worm Coil. See what happens here. It worked. Okay. Doing it. And Talisman of Dominance. Yeah, this game was decided by us taking the line that, you know, and I'm actually kind of proud of it regardless of how this match turns out. We worked basically 3 to 4 turns in advance to set up that turn where we were able to, we just pressured their mana over and over again in their instep until we were able to resolve Karn. And that's an Ugin. Been a long game, but it's been a good one. And now our opponent is not in a great position to have to deal with this Worm Coil. Just going to continue plussing for the cards, I think. Yeah, there's a Walking Ballista. Next turn, we will be taking one of those. All right, we did it. On to game 2. That was actually a really good game, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with the way that went. Our opponent clearly cared about Chalice for 1, so we may as well get some more in here, right? Crucible of Worlds, yes please, against all those Field of Ruins. Doesn't look like we probably need the Dismember here. Sundering Titan actually seems not great. Seems worse than the second Worm Coil, to be honest. Ballista seems pretty bad. Repeals seem pretty bad. Is the rest of this good, though? I mean, Surgicals are pretty good. Surely our opponent has Snapcasters in there somewhere. Cyclonic Rift seems probably bad. Probably get rid of this other Repeal here. Give this one a shot. I don't know if this is good or not. I mean, we basically just saw nothing but control cards out of our opponent. We didn't see anything really that would tell us what they're actually going to try to kill us with, so we don't know if we want Dismember or Repeals or what have you. But I do know that that was a good game, regardless of what happens now. Did it without Tron, by the way. You know, if my opponents, if I'd played against Tron, they'd have Tron on turn 3. They always do, right? They always do against me. But you know what? The struggle was real. We never hit Tron, and we got there anyways. So, all right. I'm going to keep this one. It's got 2 Tron pieces. It's got a Tech Edge, which can actually be pretty good. Got blue mana, which is a thing you have to consider with the second. A couple counter spells. Probably getting Thoughtseized here, though, which I imagine will kill our Supreme Will. Or Inquisition, right? Oh, main phase opt, huh? Interesting. They went bottom with it, so what that tells me is our opponent is digging quite hard for land here. Second Condescend's either going to be really good or really bad. Well, now they know about it, so it's probably going to be really bad. Yep, Supreme Will bites the dust. Let's see what we hit. Island is not exactly what we were looking for. Well, I mean, bad news is our opponent knows about our Condescends. Good news is that means they'll play around them. Yuck. Okay, well, that's a lot of lands. Our opponent's probably just going to fire off this Field of Ruin immediately. Yep. Well, I guess we're drawing so many lands, we ought to thank them for taking lands out of our deck. Our opening hand, I think, was fine, given the kinds of lands we had. But man, drawing a couple more has not been great. Jeez. Alright, well, whatever. I said I wanted to hit land. Or Tron, and we got Tron pieces this game. Incidentally, still wouldn't have had it, even if we'd had the right pieces. Oh, we did it! We did it. We have Tron. I'm in. I have nothing to do with Tron, but I have it. Next turn, I'm playing Tech Edge, and I'm just Tech Edging out that Watery Grave. Well, scratch that. Maybe I'll just play this instead. Classic does actual nothing until it does something. It's sort of card here. It's just going to sit and do nothing for us, but eventually it will be good. Right? I assume, however our opponent wants to kill us, I would assume it involves things that Oblivion Stone can take out. Alright, I'm just going to Tech Edge here. We obviously have more mana to work with than our opponent, so why not? Even if it doesn't cripple them or, you know, really change that much for them at all, it's, you know, 1 mana means more to them than it does to us. Nothing but counterspells, huh? Well, with all this mana, nothing but counterspells might work out perfectly fine if we find a threat. Oh, our opponent's discarding to hand size, huh? That's no good for them. Alright, Wormcoil it is. We still have 7 mana after this. Whew, that's going to be tough for our opponent to beat. That Tech Edge was pretty good. Cast Down's a nice card, for sure. Not surprised to see it make its way into Modern here, and there you go. They're going to cast down our Wormcoil engine, huh? I think I'm fine with this. I don't really care that they split it into 2 halves. And if they go for a Fatal Push or whatever, I'll just counterspell, remand those things later. I don't really mind them splitting our Wormcoil into 1 half. Sure. So they want to do that, so I'm going to Condescend this where X equals a bunch. Yeah, why not? Let's just go for it. X equals 6. If they have a counterspell or something for our Condescend, it actually doesn't really matter, right? The Scry has value to us, even if they get around it. Sure, they're going to mana leak our Condescend. That's fine. That's actually pretty good. I mean, it's kind of good for them to even get value out of their mana leak at all. And maybe I shouldn't have let them cast it down, but this is fine. They want to burn their explosives on some Wormcoil tokens. Guess what? We have Academy Ruins. Academy Ruins is itself a threat. I assume our opponent will blow the explosives here in combat. Of course they do. And we play Academy Ruins and pass the turn. So there you go. They efficiently, as efficiently as you possibly can, dealt with our Wormcoil engine. It took them 2 spells and a bunch of mana to do it. And now we just get to rebuy Wormcoil. And when it comes back down, we will have all the mana to protect it. Or we just let it die, because again, it doesn't matter. We have Academy Ruins, for now anyways. Field of Ruins is definitely the scariest thing our opponent could have. But they don't have it. They went through 1. And we do have Crucible somewhere in our deck. Alright, they want a Cryptic Command, huh? Well, I'm just going to start off by remanding this thing. And they want to Spell Snare our Remand, sure. Alright, well now I go for the Condescend on the Cryptic here. X is 2. So even if they have Dispel for this, and they get a Cryptic Command or Wormcoil Engine, it just comes back next turn. Also, they didn't. So, you know, there's that. I don't think we need Platinum Angel, but I would love to have Snapcaster Mage. Alright, Wormcoil resolves, and we get past the turn. So there you go, won the Counterspell War. Turns out having infinite mana, essentially, is pretty good at winning Counterspells Wars. Now there's finally Field of Ruin for him. Might be a little too late, though. And they're willing to give us Tron and take away Academy Ruins, huh? I think that's fine. We have nothing to get back with it. We do, however, have a Wormcoil. That Academy Ruins did its job. I guess we're not drawing... Ooh, Karn. Very nice. For what it's worth, I guess we're not drawing... not drawing Snapcaster anymore, which is too bad. Karn's a nice one for our opponent to get back in it. To be honest. It's pretty good. They get a Chump Blocker Construct here. Or Chump Blocker Wormcoil with their Construct. But Condescend's not a terrible draw for us either, because our opponent has exactly one card in hand, and they probably plus Karn here. Yeah. Cryptic Command and Search for Azcanta, huh? Yeah, you can have... So I choose a card to put into their hand. I'll give them Cryptic Command. Feels weird to say that, right? But... Well, if their 2 cards in hand are Cryptic Command to bounce Wormcoil... Plus, I mean, we're just going to blow the Oblivion Stone here. But if they have a Cryptic Command to bounce Wormcoil or O-Stone or whatever, and a Counterspell to beat our Condescend, that would actually be a way out for them. I see no reason not to pump all my mana into countering this, though. And by that I mean tap it all, right? But only make them so we have enough to pay for the... This makes X equals 5. That's good enough. X equals 4. There we go, X equals 5. That's enough to counter it, and we have enough to pay for a mana leak, so their last card would have to be pretty good here. And all of this is... Yeah, okay. It did not work for them. Don't need this, don't need this. Fate counter on Wormcoil. We did it. Yeah. Scrybug. Kidding. Kidding, Wizards. Kidding. It's just a joke. Scrybug's not a thing, I know. Alright, I guess we want to just Chalice for 1 here. It's Opsy Ops or whatever that might be theoretically be the scariest things for us. And we don't really have any... We do have 2s we want to cast, but we don't really have any 1s that we want to cast. We don't need Expedition maps at this point. So I think this is probably best. Our opponent's doing well to hang in this. I don't know what their last card is, but you know they've actually run us out of cards to an extent, right? I mean... They have to have something really good to deal with Wormcoil, and Oblivion Stone is going to stop whatever they're doing later, but it's a start. Like, another Karn's pretty good. I think they're supposed to plus this Karn. They did. All right, they found the line there. You can have a Drawn Catacomb. All right, so they got 1 card in hand we still don't know about. I'm going to go for the O-Stone Fate counter on Chalice of the Void. And our opponent looks like they have 6 there, so... Alright, let's just go ahead and... Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and pop this. This will take out the Karn. Just want to make sure this happens first. Okay, it did. You know, maybe it's, you could argue it's a little greedy to do that, in the sense that we could have just attacked it with our Wormcoil, right? But I don't really want anything weird to happen. I do want to actually kill our opponent. That's not bad. Let's just look at their hand. I might, in their draw set, look at whatever's worse for the worst thing they could have, and then surgical it, just to be rid of it, right? Just to get a look at their hand, know what we're up against. All right, so what would the worst thing for us be? Probably Cryptic, maybe Karn, but probably Cryptic. I mean, how many cards do we think they're playing? We've worked through 2 already. And what do they have? They have silver counters on search, I believe, and okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna go with Karn. Because Cryptic they could just do in response anyways. So we may as oh, I put so much thought in this. There's freaking Chalice of the Void in play. I always forget my own chalices. It's so hard not to. Just kidding, everybody. It was a joke. It was a joke. Okay, well, there's a start for them. Engineered explosives on Worm Coil. And they want to blow up our Chalice of the Void, huh? Could repeal it? No, it's fine. Whatever. They can blow up the Chalice, I think. I don't know what one-mana spells they could have here that are particularly scary for us. They want Inquisition, huh? Well, okay, fair enough. Guess I have nothing to repeal. So that means they have 1 card in hand, and that 1 card has to deal with Worm Coil. Opponent says, GG, I think we did it, everybody. Close games, but I'm particularly happy with how we played game 1. In this game, Land's doing work. There you go, everybody. We did it. Took it down. Karn was an all-star for us there in game 1 and was very good for our opponent in game 2. Turns out it's just a good Magic card. But there you go. Mono Blue Tron taking it down. I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mining Modern. Thanks for watching. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and here we are with some Tron. May as well give ourselves the opportunity for a turn 3 Tron. Am I right? Let's run out this Power Plant and Expedition map and see what we can do here. I like our hand. Next turn we can go Remand Island and have Remand up, or Expedition map, as well as Repeal. Let's see what our opponent's up to over there. I love Cyclonic Rift. It's such a nice catch-all in this format. Very, very good. If you can, you know, have all the mana for it, which we can. All right, so our opponent goes Blackcleave Cliffs, huh? Into Thoughtseize. All right, well, Jund, here we come. Let's do it. I would assume they take the Remand here, but it's possible they care more about the Cyclonic Rift for way later. I'm not sure. Definitely seems like a game. Yeah, they took the Remand. Oh, it feels good. It feels good to be this good at Magic. Is this what it feels like to be a Tron player? Woo! Now I just have to top deck something insane like Worm Coil, right? That's how you do it. Turn 3 Karn into Worm Coil. Tron, not turn 3 Karn. I could play turn 3 Karn if we draw it. Turn 3 Tron into Worm Coil, please. Collective Brutality, huh? Alright, well I guess we're down a Repeal here. Go ahead and pop this now for F6 purposes. Get in Urza's Mine. Alright, I assume that this is taking our Cyclonic Rift. Maybe they want the Repeal. Yeah, they take the Rift. That makes the most sense, obviously. Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm sure our opponent can kill this, but you know what? We're just going to Academy Ruins it back later. Woo! Turn 3 Platinum Angel. I can't lose the game, and my opponents, they can't win the game. Oh, man, it feels good to be this good. Savagely outplay my opponent who can't find green mana over there. Oh, there they go. They got some green mana. I'm sure they kill it. Like, we're not even possibly winning. They can just play Liliana, and we'd actually just be dead. Not dead. I mean, they'd have a Liliana. We would not have a Platinum Angel. Oh, it's Mardu. Okay. Not Jund. Mardu. Lingering Souls? Oh, wow. That is so much worse for them. I love it. Okay. All of that said, we do need to find something to do here. We have basically everything we want land-wise. Oh, wow. I thought that was going to be Liliana, and we were going to be sad. And luckily, that's not the case. Here comes the Faithless Looting, huh? Yeah, Platinum Angel is not super easy for Mardu Pyromancer to beat. They have to... they can throw a bunch of tokens in front of it with Lingering Souls, but Repeal is going to get us out of that one. Meanwhile, even if they do kill it, it just comes back every turn with Academy Ruins, and they do not have a lot of ways to interact with our lands, that's for sure. Yeah, and it's just going to flash back the Lingering Souls here. The problem for them is they just can't even block. Yeah, that makes more sense to attack. I'm kind of tempted to just bounce one of these. Why not? Okay, well, that's not what we wanted. I want to draw cards that do things, so... Wow, alright, well, I guess I'll Tech Edge. Tech Edge them off white mana is certainly not bad. I assume that our opponent will have the ability to kill Platinum Angel at some point this game. The problem for us is that we've, as awesome as our hand was, we have no lands, or no action now. We've actually very little to do. And they're going to flashback Faithless Looting, makes sense. Our opponent's fortunately not doing much either, and taking a bunch of damage in the process. We're just one draw away from getting there, whatever that draw might be, but we do need to find it. That's why I didn't mind cycling that Repeal there, because in all likelihood it gets used on a token at some point anyways, so that our opponent can't quadruple block Platinum Angel. So we may as well do it there so we have access to all of our mana when we untap, and we basically have 2 draws to hit a threat. As unfortunately was the case, that did not happen, but at least Tech Edge, which was the second draw for what it's worth, takes them off white mana and makes things a little more awkward for them. Plus, in a situation like this where they're trying to race against us, right? Because we have Platinum Angel and they have to get our life total down. Oh man, this is rough though. Just taking them off land for a turn was pretty good, and notice they actually missed their 4th land drop there. It was on purpose, they discarded lands, but still. Good news for us is we can put Platinum Angel back in our hand at any point. Bad news is our opponent won't kill it until they can kill us, so we'll see. I hope this is a discard spell. Please come at me with the Thoughtseize right now. Do it, I dare you. You won't. You will. Alright, you will. Fair enough. Bluff called. Yeah. Yeah, pay 2 life. Look at that. One of my cards became a shock. Did it. Wow. Okay, that's another land. Well, maybe this Platinum Angel is just going to go all the way. Seems unlikely, but you never know. And they could also just Lightning Bolt our Platinum Angel to death. That's what they're going to do. They're not. They're not going to do it. They have it, though. Okay, well, we're going to need to... They're going to do it. Okay, well, I'm just going to cast Platinum Angel next turn. I actually have plenty of mana. I can probably do something after casting Platinum Angel. Uh-oh. That can't be good for us. I would really like to draw a spell. I'll even take a bad spell. But give me a spell. Well, I guess this is our spell. Our spell is Platinum Angel. That's fine. Well, I mean, this is still pretty difficult for our opponent to interact with, to be honest. They have to kill it every turn, or they're in trouble. Now we can even pressure Liliana with it. They're down to 1 chump blocker left. They're just trying to get this thing up there. Surely we'll draw something, right? We might even be able to beat an emblem, since we have flying damage and they're already low. Who's Faithless Looting? Lightning Bolt our Angel down, okay. They might just kill this thing for enough turns to win. I can't not do this, though. I mean, we just lose the game if we try to take another draw step, and it's bad, right? So, and I would prefer not to lose the game. That said, our opponent gets to go up to 6 with Liliana this turn. They get a chump block. They get to go up to 7 after that. They might just get an emblem here. This has been pretty ridiculous for us. Okay. Please don't have a third lightning bolt. Flashback Lingering Souls. Okay. I guess I just Field of Ruin to get a land out of my deck since I'm actually going to get a draw step here. Getting blue mana doesn't hurt us either, but I need to maximize this draw step. It's probably going to be the last one we get. Okay, that's a start. Please be a good Thirst for Knowledge. Please, deck. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all, as a matter of fact. Just going to attack Liliana here. I'm actually going to let our opponent throw their tokens in front of him. I'm just going to repeal the Liliana. Oh, they just want a chump block, huh? Okay, well, this doesn't scare me until next turn, so and they're not going to be able to interact with Repeal. We finally got there. That was scary close, though. That was very, very dangerous. Man. All right, well, we can Repeal Liliana, and then we're back. Now, you know, now we are... well, I guess I'm going to use all these spells right now. Go ahead. We have 1 blue after this. We'll Thirst. Discard. I could actually go for the Condescend on the Brutality here. It might be good. We don't need to. We can Repeal Liliana on our turn. I guess the danger of doing that, though, is that if our opponent were to just follow up with another discard spell and hit our Repeal when we don't have blue mana, we just would lose to this. So I won't allow that to happen. So I guess that I should have just kept the Dismember of the Island, but whatever. I think it'll be okay. All right, let's go ahead and Repeal this thing. I don't think my opponent can replay it either, for what it's worth. And they didn't even activate it, so... Oh, we drew a Snapcaster Mage. Well, we cannot cast Snapcaster Mage, but our opponent can't make us discard it with Collective Brutality either, so... I think we're going to turn the corner and get there. There you go, we got there. That was terrifying, though. We just drew so well at the beginning, and yet somehow by the end of it, it was pretty scary. Okay, so I think Chalice of the... not Chalice of the Void. Engineer Explosive is pretty good here. Spreading Seas is good as well, honestly. Crucible I like. What don't we want? Our opponent's going to go wide with tokens, so the Cyclonic Rift is definitely good. Dismember is pretty relevant. Most of our cards are good. Condescend's not insane. Ballista's pretty solid. Chalice of the Void's good too. Alright, so we're just going to have to make up our mind what we value here. I actually think, ironically, I actually think Platinum Angel is the worst win condition in our deck. Let's cut the Remands here on the draw. They're not great. Let's cut... The same logic in theory goes for Condescend. Just play a couple Chalices. Give this one a shot. The question is the Crucible. Do we want the Crucible or not? I would assume they're boarding into some sort of land destruction, Fulminators or something. I don't know what the usual land destruction suite out of that deck is, but I guess we'll find out here. They're going pretty deep, I guess, over there on their side. I don't know. Mindslaver doesn't seem that great against them, but it's certainly not bad, right? Mindslaver is almost never bad, especially in a deck that has Faithless Looting, where you can just discard their good cards, leave them with lands in hand, use their Liliana, kill their young Pyromancers, so on. That Tech Edge was good, too. We don't know how many cards in our opponent's hand were white at the end of the game. Probably not many. They did at some point discard a Marsh Flat, so Faithless Looting. So they had the ability to have white mana or whatever. Let's see what our opponent's up to in game 2. All right, here we go. That is an opener I'm keeping. Pretty reasonable. Explosives for 0 is actually exactly what we want. And basically all we can do, we can use one of the talisman to get 2 colors on it, but it's a lot of expensive stuff in our hand, which is, maybe not ideal, right? But if we have Expedition Map, so we basically have a guaranteed 3 lands. So as long as we draw one in the first couple turns, Solemn gets us to 4. I'm actually going to, and this may be counterintuitive, but I'm going to, we have this tap land, right? And usually you want to play your tap land first, you have access to the most mana later. Especially in this case, since we want to pop map on turn 2. This might come back to bite us, but I don't want my opponent to discard spell us and make us lose our expedition map, which would be really bad for us, given the way we want this game to play out. And Faithless Looting here, they get to see 3 new cards to try to hit a discard spell. So I'm willing to be a little slower, and if we miss on our next, if our next 2 draws aren't land, then yeah, our Solemn might be a little slower, but we might just be playing Engineered Explosives at that point anyways. Oh, they have Blood Moons. That's what they do, huh? And they discarded Blood Moon. Oh, that's very bad for us then. I mean, fortunately, we do have basic islands, so I mean, I guess maybe Blood Moon's not that bad. We don't get to, we're not going to get a pop off with Tron, I guess, but we'll just play a normal game of Magic. That's fine with me. And there's the Pyromancer. All right, well, let's go ahead and get, I guess we just want the tower here, whatever. And now this is really pays off if we had an untap land next turn. Academy Ruin's pretty good as well. I could actually Academy Ruins the map back. In this case, though, we're just going to play the Tolaria West. And I guess pass the turn here. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to play Engineer Explosives for 0. I don't want it to get discarded out of our hand. And we'll get to play Solemn next turn. Young Pyromancer is definitely a problem. That is a very, very good card. But we do have a lot of things to interact with it. And here comes the Blood Moon. Again, that's actually just fine. We don't have to have Tron to win. That is the nice thing about our deck compared to other Tron decks. Don't at all need Tron to win. And now we have a Solemn Simulacrum, so we even have double blue. We have double blue, it's resilient to removal. We're just gonna play Wormcoil Engine next turn and probably just win the game off the back of that. Also, our opponent cut themselves off white mana to do this. I mean, they really valued Blood Moon against us, which makes sense. We're playing Tron, it's a Blood Moon, but it's not very good sometimes when you're playing against Mono Blue Tron. Which does not, this is a cool land, by the way. It's Dominarian land. But yeah, we don't need the Tron to do it. We don't need Tron to win. Now, I definitely understand our opponent after getting so punished in game 1. They didn't even get punished. They just got very, very unlucky in game 1 by me outplaying them by very skillfully drawing Tron land into Platinum Angel while they were thought seizing us. So, I mean, sometimes you're just good at Magic. But now, as it stands, they've cut themselves off white mana with this Blood Moon. Yeah, they have black, but they have a Young Pyromancer, and that's great. But I'm just going to play Wormcoil. Yeah, K command, deal 2 damage to our Solemn and blow up our explosives, sure. You know what? That play makes absolute sense. It was almost certainly the right thing for them to do, and it most certainly is not going to matter because here's a Wormcoil. And they don't even have access to white mana to path it, if that's even in their deck. And it's not getting any better for them because I'm just going to play Mindslaver. They can chump block our Wormcoil basically forever. Maybe put together something to remove it, and we can't get it back with Academy Ruins or what have you, but we can just play Mindslaver and take their stuff. That's going to be the plan here. Here comes Lingering Souls. Oh, Dreadbore. Okay, they got a Dreadbore on Wormcoil. It's a big game. I guess I just don't really attack with anything. I'm fine with that. I'm just going to play Mindslaver. Right, they just burned Kolaghan's command, and now we just play Mindslaver out there. We're too far away, I think, from trying to wait to activate it in the same turn. If they have another Kolaghan's command, that's pretty bad for us, but it is unlikely that they have a second one waiting in the wings here. And meanwhile, we're going to Mindslaver them, and then we get a Faithless Loot with their turn, and just we get to suicide their creatures into us. It's going to be very bad for them. Let's see what they have here. Inquisition of Kozilek, huh? Well, that's certainly not bad. I mean, our hand is pretty good. Would not be surprised, as a matter of fact, if they looked at this and just scooped. Because you either take Snapcaster, which, I mean, yeah, it's a good card. Take a Thirst. Either way, we're drinking to draw a lot more cards this game. And we have plenty of mana. I mean, we have 7 mana in play. They have Blood Moon, and we're just going to cast everything. This game's pretty much over if this Mindslaver stays on the table. Because the Young Pyromancer is the biggest possible threat they could have against us, especially since they were able to Dreadbore down our Wormcoil. But once we suicide it into our tokens, then things get a little more rough. Things get pretty rough for them at that point. They took the Snapcaster. That makes sense. They're going to give it a go. Let's see if Mindslaver is here when we untap. Wow, that's ballsy, as they say, to go for a Bedlam Reveler there. I guess they have mana. Manamorphose, okay. They're doing quite a bit. They're making the biggest board they can make. That's definitely good. Let's see if they found an answer to Mindslaver. If not, I mean, I say it's ballsy to play Bedlam Reveler because you're just stocking your hand up for us to play. But maybe that's not what's going to happen. We'll see. There are 2 mana and thinking. Is this thing a 3/4 naturally? It's hard to tell. I'm definitely suiciding their Pyromancer into my lifelink token and their Reveler. There you go. Wow, that's actually pretty good for them. They did a pretty good job there emptying their hand. I'm still going to Mindslaver them. But that was nice. I guess I may as well go for the Thirst for Knowledge first. Probably won't change anything, but we'll see. I really want to play this Crucible Worlds. Unfortunately, we can't really do anything with it, so maybe it's not even better. I can't go back and choose a different mode here. That's so dumb. Maybe I just want to keep these. Maybe I don't want Crucible. In which case I needed to click Artifact. Whatever. We're out 1 land drop. I don't think that's going to matter too much. Alright, let's take our opponent's turn here. They drew a Thoughtseize, huh? Okay, well. I think they're going to start by faithlessly looting. Okay, so I guess I just play their turn like it's my turn here. Let's see what they draw. Bedlam Reveler, Damping Sphere, huh? Well, I don't think they need those cards, so why don't we get rid of those 2? And now I think they can just Thoughtseize themselves. To be fair, they actually still can do quite a bit after this. They still have Faithless Looting afterwards. I guess I gave them extra tokens this way. This is probably pretty stupid of me. Kind of thinking it just didn't matter, but I just gave them a bunch of extra tokens that I didn't need to. It was pretty bad. 2 extra tokens. Alright, block like this. Like this. This game's actually far from over. I guess I certainly didn't do myself any favors giving them all those extra tokens. Well, 2 extra tokens. Expedition map, huh? Okay, so the good news is our opponent can't really do anything. So I'm just going to... I guess we're not really doing a ton either, but we get a Condescend whatever they do here. We get a Supreme Will. I mean, we're going to find some more Haymakers. And this Suicide attack here, I mean, it's not bad. They get through for 7 tokens, but we gain 3. So, I mean, they do 4 damage to us. And they lose a token in the process. It's not exactly great for them. Oh, now they want to kill this, so I'm just going to Condescend that. Make them pay 4 for this. I guess I actually want to hold priority here and pop my map. I'm trying to hold priority. Did not work. Guess we're not popping the map. Doesn't matter, I'm bottoming both of these anyways. Yeah, look at that, it worked out. Well, guess I could pop the map first here, improve our draw slightly. Expedition map for island, very powerful play. Alright, Spreading Sea is their basic swamp. That's pretty good. Oh, Treasure Mage, huh? I could play Treasure Mage. I could not. In fact, I'm kind of leaning towards not. No reason to. Because we want to Supreme. Like, I don't want to allow them... Right, so this is if they pay 3, huh? Well, I guess that's one thing they can actually play. I was going to say, I don't want to not hold up Supreme Will and then they get to do something. But they drew something pretty good there. And now they want a Faithless Loot. I think I let that happen as well. And we'll counter if they do anything super relevant. I mean, we get a Supreme Will to look for something here. Then we get Treasure Mage to go get another Wormcoil probably. Or Sundering Titan. Sundering Titan would be pretty good too. Alright, let's see what we can find here. Karn, huh? Karn's actually not great here. Kind of want the Spreading Seas, to be honest. Whatever. Alright, let's see what we find. Found a land. Good start. Alright, let's go ahead and Treasure Mage here. I guess Sundering Titan's not that good. I mean, it's pretty good. It attacks for sure. That's probably what I want. I guess this counts as an island. I think I get to take it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, huh? Well, that's not enough, so let's just go ahead and do this on this. Hit another land. Okay. Well, you know, as much as I actually thought, and maybe I got a little greedy and didn't totally think through the Mindslaver turn, gave him a couple extra tokens here. This game's not over at all. We've kind of hit a clump of lands here, and they've had some pretty good stuff between Faithless Looting and everything else. I mean, the problem for them is they only have access to red spells right now. But with all these Faithless Lootings, they can do stuff for a long time. Yeah, I maybe punted this one a little bit here. They have infinite Faithless Looting. They have more Faithless Lootings to go, even. Sundering Titan will be good, though. It'll take out a couple lands, but it'll also just be the biggest thing on the battlefield. Repeal is a nice draw as well. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we find out if Sundering Titan hits this, I guess. It does. Yeah, just that cuts our opponent off a bunch of mana there. We can actually repeal the Blood Moon if we really wanted to. That might be good. In fact, if we found a counter spell, I would totally repeal the Blood Moon. And then get back in the instep with Academy Ruins, get back Wormcoil or something. I guess first we have to find a counter spell. Our opponent can't do much here. We're just flooding out like crazy. Okay, well, we'll just pass. I really might just go for the Instep Repeal on Blood Moon. It gives us several draws to do something. It also, and we're going to need to do something, to be honest, the way this is going. Maybe I should have attacked with Sundering Titan. I don't know. I could back Engineered Explosives for 1. That'd be pretty good. That's sort of the fallback, I think. Sorry, Explosives for 0 to kill the elemental tokens. That means we get to start attacking. So yeah, let's do that. Oh, we drew Dismember. That's also pretty good. Good enough for our opponent to scoop, I guess. Yeah, I mean, oops, that's not the match we want. No one showed up to that match. Okay, this is the one we want. Yeah, our opponent, we were going to Dismember the Bedlam Reveler, and then probably just Academy Ruins back the Engineered Explosives for 0, get rid of all tokens. Then all they have is this, and we get attacked with the team, so on and so forth. That was pretty good. That was a difficult match, to be honest. I thought that game in particular was... I didn't think it was going to be as close as it was. It just took us a long time to find a way to kill him. But we got there. I'm glad we left some repeals in the deck. It's just a very good flexible card. All right, there you go, everybody. This is Mono Blue Tron. It's a lot of fun. I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mining Modern. Thank you for watching. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Mono Blue Tron. Trust me, not super happy about playing Tron, but I do like this deck. Our opponent's starting off with the Serum Visions here. And you know what? I think we might have done it over here. This is a turn 3 Tron hand that I almost never get. And by that I mean I don't play Tron, I don't know anything about it, I've never had it before. So there you go. This will be fun. It'll work even. We're on the draw, unfortunately. This hand would have been real sweet on the play, but I bet it's still going to be pretty good. This Chalice would be pretty good if we can get it on 1, but we'll just go ahead and tilt our opponent by having the turn 3 Tron first. We'll start things off there. What do you say? Opponent's playing Jeskai, huh? Well, I would certainly very much like to resolve Chalice on 1, that's for sure. Alright, so we want an Urza's Power Plant. Did it! Man, this must make me good at Magic today, right? Okay, so they need a pretty hard counter to actually stop this, so let's go ahead and start things off with a Chalice on 1. This would be very good against our opponent. Mana Leak doesn't work. Lightning Bolt our face, huh? Okay, I accept. So I'm tempted to go for something like the... okay. I'm tempted for the Ozone, but I'm going to continue to play around Mana Leak here and go for the Walking Ballista. So Walking Ballista's converted mana cost is 2, even though X equals 1. Without being able to cast 1 mana spells, our opponent can't Path or Lightning Bolt this thing, which makes it much harder for them to kill it. And with Tron in play, we can just sit here, and they have Helix for it. That's fine. Oops, wrong ability. I say they have to deal with that. And it does nothing for them. Like their Helix goes away. We get to ping them. But since they can't Lightning Bolt or Path it, it would have just sat there and killed them. They have to have removal for it. Alright, so I could go for the Thirst for Knowledge on their instep. They actually missed land drop, so their hand's got to be gas. Given that, I'm actually going to pass the turn here. It does a few things for us. You know, it's not like our hand is insane or whatever, but if they miss land drops, I didn't want to give them an easy remand target, and I can Thirst for Knowledge here and test their mana on their instep. I'm going to discard this Oblivion Stone. I just don't think it's going to matter that much. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, huh? That's enough to Mindslaver them. I'm going to go for it too, because if it doesn't work, we have enough to Supreme Will them. So either Mindslaver is going to resolve and we're going to Mindslaver their turn, or they're going to like Cryptic Band or whatever, and we're going to Supreme Will for the complete and utter blowouts, and then still have a Mindslaver in play. Oh my gosh, the dream! Oh, the dream is alive and well, friends. I would like to counter this. Oh, man. This Supreme Will, when I was looking through these Mono Blue Tron decks, I saw it as a spicy one-of, basically, in a couple, and I was like, I've got to have that. That does a lot for me. I love flexible cards like that. Whew, and was it ever good right there. Got the Cryptic Command. Now we get a Mindslaver then. Of course, they're going to blow out their hand here. Ooh. Okay, well, Jace, huh? And they're going to Brainstorm to protect their stuff to an extent, I guess. But I also get a Treasure Mage for something here. Condescend, huh? Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm in. I'm going to Mindslaver the heck out of your next turn. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it later. I have no idea how Mindslavering somebody works on Magic Online for what it's worth. So, should be interesting to find out. Sundry Tide next turn seems pretty good, though. Alright, let's see how the heck you Mindslaver some... Okay. I guess you don't. You don't get a Mindslaver them. No! Regardless, we were going to Mindslaver, and whatever happened to the Mindslaver, even if we did nothing but tap them out, we think we resolve Sundry Titan and take out 3 of their lands. So that would have done the deed just as well. So I think we probably want this Dismember, or Crucible Worlds here. Chalices seem very good. Platinum Angel doesn't seem great. Spreading Seams doesn't seem great. Surgical seems pretty good. Wormcoil, I like the idea of. Not very good against Path, but... Alright, get rid of some repeals here. Cyclonic Rift? It's probably not good enough. This is close. Get rid of Ballista. Ballista is a nice little threat, actually, but... That's true. Maybe I just board out both repeals and board Ballista back in. I like repeal. I like being able to repeal our own Snapcaster Mage, etc., but I'll give this a shot, see what we can do. Well, I guess I'm in for this hand. It's certainly not great, but Condescend theoretically covers up a lot of problems, right? Also, it's probably going to be a lot of draw-go played here. Eugene the Spirit Dragon, huh? Well, something like 12 turns from now when I have enough mana and am comfortable enough to go for it, that's going to be really good. Search for Ascanta is terrible for us, so... Card is extremely difficult to beat. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that at all. I mean, we have a Field of Ruin in our deck, but... turn 2 Search for Ascanta is pretty good. I mean, maybe we get a chance to resolve Sundering Tide somehow and they just don't have enough mana to do anything with it, but they just play draw-go for the next 6-7 turns or whatever of Transform Search. It's pretty hard for us, so just having that card in play automatically makes us have to be the aggressor, and that's exactly what the Jeskai deck wants us to do. Not going to condescend to the Serum Visions there. Scry not worth that much. Power Plant, though. We may at least force them to Field of Ruin us, which only helps their Search for Ascanta for what it's worth, but we'll see. I don't really know if we can beat this card. It's so good. You just play it on turn 2 and it's a threat forever. Well, that would have been sweet if we hit Tron. Our opponent didn't... They left themselves sort of open to it, but they're going to do it now. Oh, they're going to Helix us, huh? Sure thing. They probably do have a lot of dead cards still. They're just trying to Turbo Transform Search, which certainly makes sense, and they're not that far from it, unfortunately. And we just have no way of doing anything about it. Although I guess this is something. We can exile Serum Visions with Surgical Extraction. Then if you have 7, okay. I mean, we could exile 2 cards from their graveyard, I guess. Especially if they just throw everything at us to try to transform Search. Well, Snapcaster doesn't exactly do that. I'm going to counter that. Condescend this unless you pay 3. Which they might just counterspell back, but... Which they are. They're going to negate us. Sure. So, Snapcaster is going to resolve. It's going to target some spell they can't cast. It's going to target their negate, whatever. I'm going to Surgical the Serum Visions, I think. It's unfortunate, but we just can't let it resolve. Or we just cannot let we can't let Search for Ascanta transform. All right, so they got one Wear Tear here. They got a couple Teferis. They got one Jace. So it's a burn deck. There's nothing crazy in here. It's burn, Snapcaster, Sphinx's Rev. Okay. Well, our opponent only has 2 cards in hand right now. We bought a little... They essentially got no value out of their Snapcaster. We bought a little bit of time with the Search for Ascanta, and I'm going to just try to slam Mindslavers over the next couple turns. I mean, we're going to force our opponent to have answers. You know, one Cryptic makes things look pretty good for them real fast, but maybe we'll just hit a tower off the top here. Oh, they're finally going to... Nope. Wow, they're tapping out. Oh. Uh-oh. They're playing Crumble to Dust, huh? Okay. I thought this was not in sideboards anymore. Honestly, haven't seen it in a sideboard in a year. It's pretty good there, though. They even got the land out of our hand, which is a complete disaster. Wow. That's a blowout. Now we really need to rip some lands. Man, ugh. I didn't want to play the second one because I didn't want to show them which one we had multiple copies of, and I get blown out by the only... That and Sowing Salt, I guess, are the only cards in the format that actually keep me from casting spells. That's pretty rough. Well, regardless, we'll Chalice for 1 here. Turns off our own Expedition maps. Probably turns off more from them, but I don't know if we're going to beat that Crumble to Dust. This search is about to transform, and we're going to be on to game 3. That was pretty rough. Might just die to Snapcaster Beats, too. Not a land. I can cast something instep here. I can burn a Condescend. Guess they are. I mean, we're going to die to this stuff for sure, but... Alright, let's Condescend for 2. I don't know what we're looking for is the problem here. Because we're just going to die to Snapcaster Beatdowns. It's... I guess Talisman is a card that we might need. I don't even know what we have to beat the 2/1s at this point. Everything we want takes a lot of mana. And we're actually just dead next turn, so yeah. We have no way of stopping them firing up the Colonnade and killing us. Alright, on to game 3, huh? Well, it is just your typical Jeskai Control deck. Nothing crazy. Still don't think we want Cyclonic Rift, though. I think we're fine. That was a close-ish game. Search for Ascanta put a lot of pressure on us. I guess I'm in. Seems pretty reasonable, actually. Thirst for Knowledge will draw us a lot of cards. We might even get a Condescend to turn 2 Search for Ascanta. That would be nice. And then we have Karn. So let's just hit some land drops here. And there we go. That's a land drop. I like it. Let's also not get Crumble to Dust. That was ridiculous how good that was against us. I'm sure it's just a 1-of in the sideboard. Ooh, Crucible, huh? Alright. Alright, so yeah, this is not ideal for our opponent at all, because we're going to fire off an instep Thirst for Knowledge on their turns. They're either going to let it happen, or they're going to counter it, which is a completely reasonable line from their perspective, but then we just slam Karn. I think I discard the artifact here. I think that artifact is Expedition Map, maybe? I don't know. As I've already chosen, I can't go back. Sure, we'll get rid of Expedition Map. I don't hate it. I don't hate having it at all in my hand there, but... we get a Thirst for Knowledge again into another set of 3 here, so... we might just be able to draw into a... oh, wow, they're going to... sure. I kind of want to fight over this. Not because I particularly care about Damping Sphere, but because I want the path clear for Karn next turn. Also, it just worked. Okay, well, I guess pretty clear from that exchange that our opponent didn't want to replay it, so they have something. They don't want to tap out and let us play Karn. But man, now we're just loading up on the cards now, and that's a problem for our opponent. As long as we're making land drops, which these Thirst for Knowledge should mean we get to keep doing. I can Condescend it for a bunch here. I'm going to do that. I do care. I mean, it's not like I want them to have Damping Sphere. It kind of hurts them too, to be honest. It's like not very good for their Snapcaster mages and so on. But I'm going to do this. Because either they burn something to counter it, and we play Karn, which is what I want to happen. Great. We're getting Logic Knotted. Sure, I won't pay for it. You've resolved a Damping Sphere. Card is very good against me. My Tron lands are bad now. However, unfortunately for you, my Karn is still quite good. Alright, we did it. We've resolved Karn. Now what? I didn't see any Oblivion Rings or anything like that. I think they just have Burn to get rid of it. I'm just going to plus this. I just want cards. I want all the cards I can get against them. Urza's Tower, Remand, huh? Give us Tower. Sure. If I can still make land drops, that's fine too. Like I said, the beauty of this card is it is symmetrical, and it's way worse against our deck than it is any other Tron deck. So they're going to go for a spell here. And I'm going to... well, oh, we don't have Condescend anymore. I'm not going to do anything about that. They're going to resolve that. That's fine. Card is very good. Teferi is a very, very good card. Oh, wow. Okay. They want to give... they care that much about our Karn. Can't say I blame them. But that means I get to slam down this Mindslaver here. Yep. We'll see if they can answer that. Teferi could answer it. They would have to play a second one, though. You're going to have a lot of gas for us to Mindslaver, that's for sure. They could also just have an answer to Mindslaver, right? They could just Cryptic it or something. And right now, they are the one with the Planeswalker, so they are ahead. Teferi was a clean answer to Karn. It's why I considered minusing card to make a token, to be honest. Although, for what it's worth, they just gave us a second mana. And now if they tap out, we can actually Condescend something. Well, that's unlucky. Okay. Yeah, now we might be in trouble. I don't think we've played poorly, but our opponent has played pretty well and had some good stuff going on. We have a lot of cards, but so do they. Alright, let's play Crucible. Hope that it works. This Teferi is going to be the biggest problem. Alright, let's see what they're looking at here. 3 mana to cast something. Logic not X equals 6, huh? Alright, well, I'm just going to condescend this thing. Alright, there we go. X equals 1. Our opponent cannot pay for that, so that will counter the logic. We'll resolve Crucible. We even get a Scry, too. Oblivion Stone's definitely what I want. Don't think we need the land. Oblivion Stone, though, very good. Also, Crucible resolving, getting back Academy Ruins is big game for the... that means a lot for the future of this game. Also, it doesn't hurt that we have Condescend up for their turn here. Now, this Teferi is going to be a huge problem. I mean, the only thing we have going for us essentially is that our opponent doesn't have access to a ton of mana. And them tapping mana on their turn is pretty good for us, actually. We'll see what we can do here. I think this is the... I think we shuffled away our Karn. Yeah, God, this card's going to be hard to beat. Alright, well, let's go for this. If it resolves, we can pop it. Not that I want to. Not that it's going to resolve. Here comes Cryptic. I think I condescend this where X equals 3. Okay, well, good news here is our opponent actually, they can't pay 3 and they can't mana leak back either, thanks to, okay, so don't know that I want these. I think the Condescend I probably want. Alright, well, we resolved an Oblivion Stone. We can't activate it, but we resolved it. Our opponent could get rid of it with Teferi. That would kill the Teferi, which would accomplish our goals, but... we're getting lightning bolted, sure. We're at 17. Our opponent seems... we slammed a Planeswalker with Karn, but they had a better Planeswalker. It would help, I suppose, if we had Tron online. This Damping Sphere is a problem. I mean, we did fight over it. We lost the fight, and that was okay, and I think we played it well, but their Planeswalker trumped ours. Quite literally. Got rid of it right away. And here comes, I imagine, just a Cryptic command on our O-Stone. Yeah, Snapcaster Cryptic. Although that's actually... oh, Snapcaster Wear Tear. Oh, that's terrible for us, yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get there. Unless we drew like we drew something here, right? But I know we're drawing Condescend, huh? Yeah, we're gonna lose to this. Oh man. You may as well fire this off. Try to discard lands. It is nice in that it gives us. I mean, we're not out of this game yet. The problem is, like, there's a lot of problems here, but... more lightning bolts, huh? Okay. The problem is our opponent just never runs out of cards with Teferi, and it doesn't matter if we have cards too, they're just always going to have more. And they're just always going to be able to 1-for-1 us until we die. And they get more efficiency out of their mana thanks to Teferi. That stupid colonnade. Guess I just let this happen. I will go for the Incept Stackcaster, I think, just to try to put some pressure on. Let's see what they think about this. Well, we're getting them to tap some mana. It's not a bad sign. Counterflux, huh? Okay. Well, they have 4 cards in their hand. Can I go for a Mindslaver here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. It's a good number. Why not? We might even be able to Condescend back here, which then just gets our Mindslaver to Teferied, but that is what it is. We'll try. They have Negate, huh? I cannot Condescend to that. Yeah, I think we're dead. They just have everything. Which, I mean, of course they do. They have Teferi. We just... I guess Dominaria is just broken all around, right? We thought we were going to win because we had Karn, but they had Damping Sphere and Teferi, and we're just going to lose to their better Dominaria cards. Wow, they're main-facing Electrolyze, huh? We're not quite that dead as to be going that aggro. Oh, this card's good. Untapping Lance is just so powerful in a control deck. All right, let's see if we can get away with a search here. The slow, painful way to lose, that's for sure. Well, that at least answers the Colonnade. When's this thing ultimate? 8? I guess I could go for a Ballista here. Maybe that's not what I want to do. Maybe I'll just play map. Oh, the map does much, but... I think I have to give them one more turn of Teferi. And then on their end step, we'll Tech Edge something. Yeah, we're just going to die to this stuff. We're just going to die to the burn. Man, what a disappointing game. I don't know that we played wrong. Our opponent played well. I think we played well. Just got ground into oblivion by Teferi here. Okay, so they go for the Lightning Bolt. I Condescend the Lightning Bolt. Need to make it so they have to pay 4. Okay, we've done that. Okay, this is a start. Let's see if this works. Surely they have an answer to this, but... Guess maybe I should have played Walking Ballista for 1. Wow, it worked. Okay. I don't really feel like paying life for this. Okay. I guess Academy Ruins back the O-Stone here. See what happens. And Tech Edge the Colonnade, I suppose. We actually have him under a Tech Edge lock, which would be kind of sweet. If we had found this like 8 turns ago, we could have just actually ground them out this way before we were dead to all the burn. Well, I think we can beat Cryptic here. I'm going to try. We can beat Cryptic Command for what it's worth. We'll see. They just have negate. Oh, man. Okay. I guess technically still not dead? Ballista for 2? Kill the Snapcaster mages? Sure, why not? We were honestly close to pulling this one out. This was a good game. We put up more of a fight than I thought we would. That's for sure. We lost game 2 to Search for Ascanta. We're going to lose this one to Teferi. Oh, they just had it all along. We just got slow rolled. That's cool. Thanks for that. Whew. All right. Well, good game. Man, that was tough. Fun, though. It was a good match for sure. Thank you for watching, everybody. This is Mighty Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler. I don't know if I misplayed in there. I assume I did. I'm not a perfect player, that's for sure. As the YouTube comments let me know every week. But you know what? Had a lot of fun trying out different decks every week. And that was a good match. Thanks for watching, everybody.